Shalom Aleichem, this is David Amami. With God's help, we're going to do a Maamer summary of the Maamer Ve'ela Shemos Tavshin Lamed Zayin. This is a summary of the whole Maamer. Feel free to pause at any moment if you'd like to read the actual details of the specific ois. But God willing, I'm going to go through this in short and give a summary, get the whole picture of the Maamer. So, beginning of the parsha, it says Ve'ela Shemos Bnei Yisrael Habai Mitzrayim, that the Alter Rebbe, who his Hilula was on the 24th of Teves, he brings in Torah Or, he says in Parshas V'yigash, we already said Ve'ela Shemos Bnei Yisrael Habai Mitzrayim. So we need to understand, why does the Torah double the saying? And specifically according to what the Mittler Rebbe brings, that he says everything that's in the Torah is nitzchi, and is a lesson for each and every generation and each and every Jew. Therefore, when the Jews went to Mitzrayim and they had painstaking labor, what is the lesson that we have in our life? Specifically, we know that it wasn't for the painstaking labor only, but rather for the geula that they're going to have afterwards. That's what it means. Anoichi arad imcha Mitzrayim, anoichi alcha gam aloi. That I am going to go down to Mitzrayim with you, and I will also go up. That there's a double lashon that it says al chag amaloy, I will go up with you, meaning that the whole purpose of going down to Mitzrayim was in order for us to come up from Mitzrayim and have a geula afterwards. So the Rebbe gets more detailed with it. He says when the brothers of Yosef went down to Mitzrayim, they had a saying of Yaroid Yiradnu, we came down to buy food, showing that there's two Yeridas. So too, when there's an ascent, it says Anoichi alcha gam alei, I'm also going to go up, showing that there's two Aliyahs. So the Rebbe says that this is connected to the Galus of Mitzrayim and to the Galus of Achron, the Galus that we're in right now, the Geula that we're about to experience right now. And he gets more specific, the Rebbe, and he says that the pasuk says Ki meis chamer Mitzrayim are in influence, just like the days of Mitzrayim, I will show you wonders. That the Zohar says that the wonders that we're going to experience in Mitzrayim in the future are going to be even going to be wonders compared to the wonders that we had in Mitzrayim. And it's not only that they both have wonders that you can say that they're both related, but the inner teichen, the inner content of the wonders also shows that they're connected, and there's a lesson that we can learn from the wonders that we saw in Mitzrayim. So the Rebbe continues, and he says that there's certain specifics that we can see that we can learn a lesson from. One is that when we were in Mitzrayim and we had a galus there, then we were sent out afterwards. The whole purpose of the galus was not chas v'shalom that we had to go through painstaking labor only, but was in order that we have a geula afterwards. So too, in this final galus that we have right now, is that we're also going to have a geula, and we're also going to have a revelation. And the revelation that we're going to have is going to be higher than the revelation that we had in Mitzrayim. That we know that in Mitzrayim, when they came out, they were cleansed and purified in order that they can receive the Torah. That was only the level of Torah, on the level of Niglad the Torah, the revealed part of the Torah. However, this galus that we're in right now, when we're going to have Mashiach come, then we're going to get the revelation of Pnimis of Torah. And the Rebbe also shows that there's a comparison between the two galuses, that the length of the galus that we have right now is incomparably longer than that of the galus of Mitzrayim. So too, that shows that the revelation that we're going to experience when Mashiach is going to come is going to be a revelation that is incomparably greater. And the Rebbe gives an example that he says about Nebuchadnezzar. And it says that he took 3 steps in order to praise Hashem, and because of that, he was given 3 generations that he ruled the world. If you compare that to a Jew, that we know a Jew is called B'nai B'chir Yisrael, or Bani Matem L'Hashem L'Keichem, that my children, my firstborns are the Jews, or children you are to Hashem your God, that when we know that we can reach everything good from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we get the blessings from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's so much incomparably greater than that which we experienced before. And the Rebbe continues, and he says, what's our avodah? That the whole revelation that we're going to experience is all dependent on our service and our avodah and our actions that we do right through the 6,000 years. And he says that we can understand the idea of what happened in Egypt when it says that they went through avodah kasha, and they had chemer uvilvenim, they had hard work, and they built brick and mortar. We can understand this in a spiritual sense. When it says avodah kasha, that's talking about a kushya, a question in halacha. And when it says that they had chemer, they had mortar, that's talking about a chal v'chomer, the type of learning that we call a kal v'chomer. And it says uvilvenim, when they built bricks, that's talking, vilvenim is the same wording as libon hilchasa, that they clarified a halacha. Meaning that when we go through learning Torah in a deep way, that we have to clarify it, and we go through, then we completely remove the idea of the galus that's here in this world. The Rebbe continues and he says, this is what it means, Eila Shmois B'nai Yisrael. These are the names of the B'nai Yisrael. And he gives two examples of what our service is. One is that when the Jews were in Mitzrayim, is that they never changed their names. So too, us here, we can go through and keep the Torah, even to the point where we don't even keep we change one detail of it, we don't change our names. And so too, we know that the Torah goes by all the Torah, and all the letters of the Torah are called Hashem's name, so much so that it's called Shem HaGadol, the great Shmoi HaGadol, the name, his great name, that when we're learning Torah and we bring about a praise for Hashem, we're revealing this level of the Shmoi HaGadol, and when Mashiach is going to come, we're really going to have that revelation. The Rebbe concludes, and he says that the whole idea of us descending down to Mitzrayim and then coming up and having a Geula can also be understood through a certain type of descent that we have, and we can understand ourselves. That the descent that we can understand is when you have an intellect, an intellectual concept that could descend down into thoughts, or it can descend down into speech. For instance, intellect can either be limited by his thoughts, or it can come further out into his speech. So too by Torah and Tefillah. That when a person learns Torah, he can learn Torah in the thoughts of Torah, or he can learn Torah with a speech of Torah. And we know that a better way is when a person speaks Torah. So too, in his 248 limbs, when he spreads out the Torah that he learns and it affects all of his entire body, then we know that it says that his Torah is mishtameres, that it's going to be protected. So too by Tefillah, even though Tefillah is the service of the heart, nevertheless, we bring it out into the words of Tefillah. So the Rebbe says that this is connected to the two worlds, the hidden world and the revealed world. That when a person works and brings about a revelation of his intellect down into his speech, that reaches the world that is hidden. In his thought, that reaches the world that is hidden. However, when he brings it out in a more revealed way, that's like the revealed world. And the Rebbe says that we can now connect the hidden world with the revealed world, and that's going to bring us to the whole redemption that the Rebbe concludes, and he says that the Gol Rishon is the Gol Achron, that the first Redeemer is going to be the last Redeemer, and may all of this happen B'karov Mamish, speedily Mamish.